Yeah.
How many of y'all came to win?
Oh, they asking my name, huh?
You ready?
S-T-R-O, I ain't come to play with you.
Yeah.
Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you. It's early, I'm up.
Yeah.
I can't spend the day with you. I'm minding my business. I ain't getting paid with you. My color bright.
Yeah.
I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come. New York City, time. Another brother. You will never know. You ain't never. Hey, yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard on the job. You can see that. Bag. They clear the way when my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. In the case on the news.
What I do, lace up my shoes, chase W's, grape colored coops. Oh no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable, they sweet as apple juice. My heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze, freeze. Stop you in your tracks, there's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up.
Coach, the usual sea of red here in this venerable stadium has been turned white as we are high above snowy Arrowhead Stadium in KC. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Indianapolis Colts and the Kansas City Chiefs. This will be fielded at the 6. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll return this one all the way onto the other side of the field.
Well, that return gives them a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
Now the first carry here for Phillip Lindsay. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the gun, here's Stafford. And his throw here's incomplete. Quincy Anoon with the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it.
To escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Ready! 90 Wolf! Watch the run! Switch!
They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. There goes Melvin Gordon. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Melvin Gordon. Touchdown number 22 on the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go!
At their own 25-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to... And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Cameron Jordan, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Now they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
And first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. Well, nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Even though they might not find the number 1 seed next to their name come playoff time, there's not going to be very many teams, if any, entering the playoffs on the kind of run they're on. They're hot.
And I love that word, hot, because every team in the league wants to go into the playoffs on that uptick. Because a lot of the time you serve notice to the rest of the league that, hey, we're the team you need to deal with. We're the team that's going to be a real problem for you. And if they can continue this streak, they could very well be that team and gain that confidence that they're seeking as they head to the playoffs.
And confidence, that's the word I would use from our meetings with them. They said we're playing our best football right now. It is showing. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. That's caught inside the 20. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Now Gordon. And he takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
Right, it's a handoff to Gordon. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Melvin Gordon with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And he'll be taken down well behind the line, and I think he might have just given those 4 yards right back. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
That's it, baby. We go quick. At their own 30-yard line.
On the ready.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
70, Indy.
This is Gordon. Space to maneuver at the 40 as he'll get this one up to the 44-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Chiefs first down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And it's a big play there as he is finally taken down on what will be a terrific final act of this first quarter. Second quarter from Arrowhead, it's the Chiefs in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Gordon. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Here's a 2nd and 7, and he fires one incomplete. The intended target, T.J. Hawkinson, and it's 3rd down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. And that's caught by Landry for a Kansas City touchdown. Jarvis Landry hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Extra point by Seibert up and good. And that makes the score. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. The Colts on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 4. And this is incomplete, but a flag back at the line of scrimmage. And this could be a first down. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a problem.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker, and his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Partner, when you're playing cover 2, this is like a tag team for the safeties. Each of them gets a half-field responsibility. Their job, stay as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, read the football, and go make a play. In this case, the free safety made the best play, an interception.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one goes for 30 yards. A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all. Now Gordon on first down. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
They'll look to throw here. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
Come on, set. 18 Gator.
Silver.
Blue draw Porkins.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. But forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play.
First and goal at the 4-yard line.
8 Reed.
Watch the run.
Hey, Haywood.
57 the mark.
Get it.
They'll set up to throw. Forced out to his left. He'll touchdown, Chiefs. I'm pretty sure that was a passing play, but he took off pretty quickly and ran with it.
Love his decisiveness on it because you're exactly right. He was supposed to go back in the pocket and survey the field and throw the football. But when that hole opened, he just said, forget it, let's go. And boy, did that work out well.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half.
Touchdown, Indianapolis. Damian Williams with touchdown number 7 on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
This fielded at the 2. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? He said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. He'll look to throw. It's his running back, Melvin Gordon. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10.
That's another Kansas City Chiefs.
Hey, Steve, sit.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Now a chance to make that encroachment penalty really hurt. 1st and 5. Following the penalty, here's Gordon. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll make it 2nd down. Here's Gordon. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. No move for the field goal unit. They're going to go here with 5 seconds left.
He's coming. We got double up. Go. 5.
Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Melvin Gordon in the final seconds of the first half. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Short kick. One of the up men will take it now. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do.
There goes Melvin Gordon. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Melvin Gordon, his 25th touchdown, tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point by Seibert, up and good, and that will extend this big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start. In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Now we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. He's going to field this at the 4. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball, but how about them just taking it big-time jaunt. Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Back and go full strength. Get it.
Looking to throw. It's caught. Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. Now Ito Smith. Past the 20. There he goes left side. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Ito Smith. His 3rd touchdown now on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point by Seibert up and good, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
At the 27-yard line.
Another run by Lindsey. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Here's Stafford. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And he's got some space here. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And down to the 16-yard line. 27 yards there, a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And they'll lose yardage here, knocked back to the 19-yard line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Here's a give to Lindsey running right. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Stafford under pressure, and he'll go sacked back at the 31. Cameron Jordan in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions. Because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remote's clicking off right now. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation. The offense on 3rd down tonight, a perfect 4 for 4 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. They'll try to run for it with Smith. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And finally marked down at the 23. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences